Hey guys, welcome back for a quick update. Okay, so today's episode, we're going to go back onto the E36 M3, right? So I've shown you guys in the previous video, just on paint strip, how the car looked. As soon as we took the paint off, basically, what we found under the car. And this is just a quick update before we get into our primer stages. And the reason I'm doing it now is because we're going to have about 6 weeks of primer stages before we get to paint. So we spent a bit of time. We spent about 2 weeks on bodywork, right? Which I told you the car wasn't bad, but in the areas that was bad, it was bad. And I also need to do this video as fast as possible because we don't have much time with regards to the moisture in the air. It is summertime, so there's a lot of humidity. There's a lot of moisture in the air, and as you can see now, the car is actually cleaned and prepped basically for its first stage of primers. I'm going to show you, there's like a handprint here, which you won't be able to see now from that view there, why it's so crucial for us just to get the car to this point here and then as fast as possible basically into the booth and then wipe down again, or even machine down again to a certain point, wipe down again, and it's going to get wiped down like maybe 30 times because you need to get all the dirt out of the crevices before you can get your first stage of primer on it. And this is one of the crucial stages that you wanna, this is the, when people talk about cleanliness in the body shop, right? Cleanliness meaning just dust and contamination. This is the stage that you actually got to pay close attention to, because this is basically the foundation stage going all the way to paint. So when people talk about paint, and they always say it's in the prep, this is one of the stages. Not everybody goes to the stage, obviously, but in our case, this is one of the stages in prep. And it's all about cleanliness. So I don't really want to go and touch on here. If I touch on here now, you're going to see we've got cream on our hands, we've got moisture on our hands. You'll actually see the print, and I'm going to show you this print here now. You can see one of the guys just touched on here. And unfortunately, in the shop, no matter how you preach about cleanliness, you've just got to come and QC it all the time, and you got to just make sure, because guys are going to touch. They do not understand the fundamentals behind cleanliness before primers. So let's just go through the car quickly, right? We've started with this car, and I'm going to take the camera off again for you guys. I did do a couple of close-ups that I'm going to overlay onto it, and hopefully the video, you guys will understand the video a bit better. So when we took the car apart, when we took the paint off, we found a couple of spots here on the fender, and I still told you I'm going to try and leave the original coating on that's from factory, but unfortunately, when you're working in certain areas, you can't. So we made a decision just to get it back, basically back down, clean down, and we're going to reseal this whole body uniformly and not just rely on the old e-coat, because it can be contaminated as well. So basically, on this fender here, we didn't have to lead fill as much. Unfortunately, it is a pilot bonnet on here, right? And finding decent bonnets is a mission, especially for the two-door. So we tried to do as much as we could with the pilot bonnet, but there is a couple of nicks and dents over here, and this is on a seam here. So I'm not going to go and remove the bonnet from the carcass, or remove the carcass and the sheet cover. We are gonna use, after blocking down, just a touch of filler, but basically it's minute, it's minimal. There is a section over the bonnet over here that I'm not too happy about, but again, it's on a rub. So if you weigh the pros and cons and you say, okay, fine, it's literally a small denture, and you're choosing to take the rub out or the carcass off, you gotta weigh the two, right? And you gotta say, is the punishment worth the crime? Something like that. Meaning, how much of damage are you gonna go through removing the rub or the carcass just to get this small guy done? So you'll eventually get this small, then pull out this, then pull out, but you'll start messing up other places. So decision was made. We're just gonna use a bit of filler here, a bit of filler here, but it's not a filler. It's not filler to clear up a wave. It's not filler to clear up a big dent. It's minute dents. So it's spot filler basically. The pillars, we went through it, we've checked the car, we finally got the sunroof proper and aligned, and you guys knew from day one. Before the guy even went onto the lift, the sunroof was an issue. So this is for the guys following. If you're not too sure of what I'm talking about, you can go through I'll try and get everything in a playlist, but you can go down, have a look at the videos on this guy here, because I've gone stage by stage with it. So we've corrected the pillars, it has 4 pillars. The B pillars are fine. So all pillars we've corrected, we've remeasured them, and we've lead built the pillars. So now the way it looks is that you've got, instead of having the incision, we've cut the incision, got the weld clean, inspected the weld on the inside. We were happy with it. We plenished it down, and we maintained the original seam on top with lead filling over. So we've done it with all 4 panels, and we've done it on the Bs as well. The door was in bad shape. This door actually came out okay. We do have some filler requirements over here. Lead has been put onto the door, right? We haven't used a lot of lead, fortunately, in this case here, but it is like a couple of this issue here, and this is a very intricate place because you've got to overlap here. I'll go through the camera now. Your bracket is ending here, and you just can't get to the space here. So unfortunately, we have to use a bit of filler, but we've lined the car up as far possible in about 95%, I would say, on metal. So we'll do a final touch up and line up, and then work from there. And then there's a couple of small, minute dents. So let me take the camera off quickly. Let's go through the car. I don't want to drag the video out, but I have to show you this process here before we get into primer. Okay, so the fender, as I was talking about, right, you can see it came out quite good. The only issue we're having is over here, right, and we've still got to come and massage in a little bit here on this corner, but again, it's a fold on there, so it's a very tricky corner to get to. And this is the pillar that I was talking about, basically lead fold. So we got the shape correct, right? And yeah, the door came out quite good, right? There's a dent on it, there's a slight dent, but again, the metal is becoming thin, so you got to weigh your options and make a decision from there, and you can't just file and file and file. Here's the piece of lead that we put in, so you'll see the distinguished color between the lead and the original metal. Right, let me take it from this side here. I think the angle is nicer here, or the lighting should be better. Yeah, you'll be able to see it here now. Back fender came out very good, right, and so did the C pillar. Right now it looks uniform. It doesn't look like it's botched. It doesn't look like a whole lot of body filler just applied on. The roof, I explained to you guys in the previous video, there was a whole lot of small dents everywhere. Now you can actually follow the light on metal, right? And you'll see how close it is. So you can't get, look there, this is now nice and smooth. Here you'll pick up a ripple somewhere along here, if you follow it. There's a slight ripple, so it means there's a slight dent there. But because of the cartridge, again, you don't want to split the cartridge from the roof because you start opening up a can of worms. The roof lid was a total F-up. One of the reasons the roof wasn't fitting in is because this thing was piled up with body filler and worked on before. So we've got it as smooth as possible from where we can work, and again, there's rubbing on it, right? So you can't get to certain areas over here. Unfortunately, the dents are pulled out as far as possible. It's been filed on, but we can't take down too much because then the metal just starts getting thinner and thinner. So that day we are gonna, unfortunately, we have to fill a little bit, right? So it's coming down to previous workmanship that we're trying to correct, and I think if this car was an original car, it would have been a totally different story, but yeah, boot lid wasn't too bad. This was a quick work down. I spoke to you guys about this area here, something being put here, and we've gotten the shape properly. We had to re-lead it so you can see the different shade, and we had to build this back up here. So pull the dents out as far as possible and build that section up. This fender was very bad. So if you guys remember correctly, there was a whole lot of body filler on this fender, right? And the arch was a problem. So this arch had a whole lot of body filler. We had to shape the arch. This is the issue here between the boot and the cabin area here. So trying to get in this area is quite an issue. But I think we got it quite well. So unfortunately, this section will need some body working, but it's still down to its minimum. We had to build up lid on this area here because the metal started getting thin again over this area from previous panel beating. So we had to build up on this area and on the sills all the way. This door also had body filler in a lot of places, and basically got that sorted out. This fender here, this fender was a balls up in this area. We've built it up as far as possible, and we'll have to body work this fender and the back fender, unfortunately. But you can see the rest of the fender, we got our lead work done correctly. For the bonnet, I was explaining to you, if you look at the bonnet over here, there's a dent there, and there's a slight dent over there and there, but that's over the rub area, and that's the dent I was talking about. But besides for that, this here is on metal. This here cannot lie to you, right? And you can only work from here. I just want to go back to this here quickly. I spoke about the E36 line, and I told you the E36 line is not as defined as the E30 line, but look at this here now. This is sharp, and I guarantee you that on the black you're going to see the sharpness of it, and you're going to see it on primer as well. So remember, our primer stages, we've got two different colors now on primer as well. So our first stage will go, I think we're going with a white or light gray primer. Our second stage is actually going with a black primer. And we do that for a reason. We do that because of the guide codes, because we can see different waves and different ripples at different colors on different lighting. So we're trying different approaches, and then our final primer, is black. So we've got light gray, dark gray, and black. If I'm not mistaken, that's the route we're going to follow on it. So we'll be able to see the definition of this line in different colors as well before we get to the final color of paint. If you guys can see again, we've actually reassembled the front of the car. There is a gap here and there, but we're not too stressed about it because we've got enough tolerance to pull down and work from there. Our biggest issue was getting the gaps correct on the doors and the rest of the car. So you can see there's still a little bit of an issue here. Right, this has got to be pulled out, unfortunately. So, okay guys, like I told you, it's not going to be a long, dragged out video. This here is the update for the E36 M3, and I will have more coming of the rest of the vehicle soon. So you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share, and I shall see you on the next one. Cheers guys.